Hey, Cypherpunk here. How you guys doing? Today I'm doing a video on Illuvium. If you're not sure what Illuvium is, I'm gonna go over kind of the basic intro of what Illuvium is, if you're not familiar with it. So, Illuvium is basically a Web3 game with multiple different sections of games that you can play. Illuvium Zero is kind of like the board game that you can play with different NFTs and different strategies. I kind of relate it to something similar to chess, where you're playing an opponent on a board that has tiles, and across from you is your opponent. There's kind of like a divider, a middle section where you can, on your half of the board, you can place Illuvials, which have different abilities and different augments and things like that. But I'm not really going to talk about Arena today. I kind of want to talk about Illuvium Zero, which Illuvium Zero is the game that is kind of like a farming game for Illuvium. In theory, it's going to be a place where if you own land, you can then sell fuel that you produce in your land to players of the different aspects of Illuvium, specifically Illuvium Overworld. Now, right now, the floor for buying Illuvium Zero land plots is pretty high. There's 4 tiers. I know I got my tier 1, which is the lowest tier, for about $600, and up to tier 4 is like tier 3 and tier 4 you're looking at like $2,000 plus. They are coming out with a free to play, but there are not really any rewards for the free to play. So what is Illuvium Zero? Illuvium Zero is Illuvium's mobile and desktop companion game where you develop and manage your digital industrial complex. Some of the things you do is you extract fuel and sell it on the Illuvidex when demand is high. I'm just reading this off of Own and Earn on Illuvium's website. So you pretty much earn on the go and become a land-owning tycoon. Don't just own land, earn from it. So it's kind of cool. It kind of makes it seem kind of realistic to like kind of like a role play of like owning land and like an industrial thing in Web3. So I'll give you guys a little rundown of what it's looking like on my land. So right here, this is where everything's gonna start. So you have these mines, you have these areas where resources are coming out of. This is a Krypton gate. This is a what is this? This is a silicone mine, and then I have 2 carbon mines. So right when you start, you're gonna want to place a town, a nexus, and the nexus is basically going to be kind of like the town home, where the level of your nexus kind of depends on what you can build, because the higher level that you are upgrading everything, your town hall's gonna some of the things you're upgrading is gonna need to meet a requirement. So you pretty much you put mines on top of your resources that are abundant in your area, and then from there it basically costs nothing to keep it mining. So right here, like it says, I can pay credits to speed up the activity. I don't really want to do that. I'm trying to save that because currently you can't purchase any more. You can't purchase any credits yet. So once this is done, I'm gonna get, let's see, info. I'm gonna get 120,000. And that 120,000 is important because if you go to show and efficiency, you can see that the efficiency right now for this miner is 150. If it was at 100, I would be getting that 120,000, but because it's at 150, it's going to be 50% excess, which is cool. If I didn't have any of these power stations, so you go to build, you go to shop, no, not shop, you go to build, you go to structure, and there are, where is it? There are power stations right here, and currently you can kind of place as many power stations as you want. I just upgraded my Nexus up, which allowed me to place 50 more structures. So I'm trying to fill up my land with different structures that would be beneficial to the production output. So these, you place a power station. I can show you right here. If you take a power station and you're about to place it down, what's basically going to happen if I take this power station and move it away, you can see that was at 150. Now it's at 144. And as well as this one, which is 129. As I move it closer, you can see that the production rate the multiplier gets higher, which is good. Basically, like, so you have these excavators, and then you have these converters, which converters are tricky because you have, like, if you take this one, it says, okay, it has a reward of 34,000, but it's gonna cost 34,000 of another resource to get this going. So if this was at 100%, it would be equal. But if you take another converter and you move it close, you see like the grayed out boxes. If you move it inside of another converter, then the multiplier goes down. So what you want to do is what at least I'm trying to do is I'm trying to keep all these spaced out so that none of them are interfering with any other converter. So I have my converters spaced out around my map. What's something you should know is that you have the excavators and the converters and anything else, like they're not affected by like different types of things. So like I can move these converters closer to the excavator, and it's not gonna diminish the multiplier on that. So what I've been doing is I've been putting power stations near the excavators, and then putting a couple of these plants on either side, so that I can kind of maximize the power stations and the efficiency. So once you get your converters over 100%, you want to keep these running as much as you can, because right now with this being at 149%, if I go to convert, I'll probably do silicone, because it's been a little bit harder for me to get the hydrogen. So I'll explain the excess in a minute, but I'll go to convert, and it says, okay, it's going to cost 34,000 silicone, and my reward is going to be 49% over what it's going to cost, basically. So I'm going to receive 50,000. So I start activity, and then I wait the hour, and this is good because you're going to be net gaining resources every time you're doing this. So I have this one at 149, 125, 103. This one's kind of tricky. I'm just trying to upgrade this one. I'm probably going to put more power stations. 137, 116, 150. I just make sure that like my excavators are at max production at all the time, because those are where you're going to get the most bang for your buck. Because it costs no resources to start up a mine. So this one's at 140. Also periodically you're going to want to collect, because it also has a passive generation. So if you take a look at this one, the max storage is 13,600. And so once like the passive storage gets to that, it's not going to collect anymore until you end up collecting all of it, and then it will keep storing it. So I'm going to use carbon for this one. So it's going to cost 34,000 carbon, for me to get 47,000 in rewards, which is good. So I'm gonna do that. I want to keep my Krypton gates going. Once you get a Krypton gate, you kind of get that like past level 100-ish Krypton gates. So like the fuels and everything, they generate a lot slower. So at the beginning, you're gonna be getting 1 to a couple of them, and then as you keep upgrading, these are the fuel converters. That also have passive generation. I think I'm going to be spacing these out, just because they're at 50%. And I'm pretty sure, but like right now I'm only getting 1 or 2 for every day or 2. So it's not really a big deal. I think eventually I'm probably gonna space these out accordingly and see if like if I can get these to like 100%, if it'll change my output. But I want to keep these going. But right now it costs 200,000 carbon for me to start this activity, and it lasts 24 hours. So I want to keep this going every time I log on. So I'll keep this one going. I'll use carbon as well. So one of the strategies that I use when like if I look at my carbon storage capacity, you have carbon storage. I have it right here. So like this storage will hold 350,000. I'm trying to get these upgraded as much as I can right now. I think I'm upgrading. What am I upgrading? Something like one of these Hyperion Lathe. So one of the strategies that I do when you look at like how much carbon I have, it says a max capacity of 1.2 million. When I get close to maxing out one of these, and like let's say like this is at 6,000, this is at 500,000, but this one's at maybe 1 million, I'm gonna go to the marketplace, because you can't store over that. So I go to the marketplace, I look for somebody that is asking for carbon in exchange for typically a little bit more of another resource. So this one I have gone through the duration period, which was 8 hours. So you're going to want to do this ahead of time before you need the resources so that you can keep things moving. So you go and look at the offers. I chose this one, which was they wanted 227,000 for 263 hydrogen. So since I had close to cap in carbon, I started this trade so that 8 hours from now, if I need it, I can have hydrogen here while also keeping carbon being produced and not wasting it. And that's also another way that you can increase your margins in your resources. I'm getting to the point where I'm probably going to have to start trading fuels and things like that. But yeah, sorry, my dog is starting to cry. So pretty much, I think I can probably explain minting a little bit. If you go to biodata and blueprints, I'll show you the 2 that I minted. Minting takes a lot of time as well. Right now it's January, so there is some minting and blueprints going on right now. This is the first one that I minted. So pretty much what you need for minting is you need material labs, you need, where is it? I can hardly see where it is. Where is it? Singularity scanner, and the singularity scanner, basically you're gonna have where you're basically gonna be running biodata. My dog is literally crying right now. So you basically do research. It takes about 24 hours for a 5% chance to scan for blueprints or anything else. And I kind of have to end this video now because my dog is crying and I don't know why. But if you guys have any more questions on any more information on what to do in Illuvium 0, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video or want to see more content, make sure to subscribe, and I'll catch y'all later.